Live right now at 11, gusty winds. You can see it right there in the middle of your screen with the flag. Falling temperatures. It is shaping up, folks, to be a December winter night tonight. We're going to be talking about really in the morning. Right now on the WHAS 11 night team, wind chill factors on the way. We're talking 1, 2, and 3 degrees. The reality for your Thursday morning. We're getting you ready tonight. Hi, everybody. I'm Doug Prophet, and Chief Meteorologist Ben Pine is here with me. And Ben, is it going to be like this all day long tomorrow?
It is, and what's crazy, it's still 50 degrees right now. So in a matter of hours, it's going to feel about 40 to 50 degrees colder with that wind chill. You can see the wind still blowing out there, still mild at the moment. But overnight, that polar front will move through. Some around 5 a.m. until noon tomorrow is when we have our weather impact alert for tomorrow morning, when the wind chills will be in the single digits. Wind chills only in the teens tomorrow afternoon. So very warm layers, limiting our time outdoors, maybe some extra time to warm up the car. And just watch out for the kiddos out there, not spending too much time out there in that extreme and painful cold right there. So that's 7:30 around sunrise tomorrow morning. Those single digit wind chills, and not feeling much warmer tomorrow afternoon with those maximum wind chills in the teens. Now, a very light wintry mix will be moving through as that front moves over us overnight. Little and most likely no impact for the roads with that little wintry mix. The big major impact for us is going to be that extreme cold for our Thursday. This is a short-lived cold spell. We've got a weekend warm-up coming up in our full forecast.
All right, thank you, Ben. News since 6 tonight. Louisville Metro Police are investigating after the body of a man was found in the Ohio River near Cox Park in East Louisville. Police say they responded to River Road at Cox Park just after 5 this evening. When officers got there, they found the body of a man floating in the Ohio River. Police and the Jefferson County coroner are working to determine the exact cause of death. Police say it is one of our city's most violent and dangerous areas, and right now, they need your help solving 3 murders in one spot this year. We're talking about Esquire Alley. It's just to the west of downtown. It's now become an enforcement target area identified in the police department's new crime reduction plan. WHAS 11 night team's Clarice Shaley and photojournalist Levi Hammer are talking to residents about what it'll take to get information.
3 homicides in one block, that's a problem.
Louisville Metro Police left with 3 unsolved murders on Esquire Alley in 2024. One in May, August, and November, all believed to be unrelated. The early morning death on November 7th catches the memory of Russell resident Jackie Floyd.
And that was time for the kids to be going to school. My heart just stopped. It's like, these children have to go to school in the middle of all this.
LMPD specifically bringing these cases up as they talked with reporters about the alley.
We've had very few leads to solve these 3 homicides, and we need the community's support in this area.
It's no surprise to Jackie Floyd that there haven't been any leads in these cases, because she says if you want to work for the community, you have to invest in the community.
How safe are you making the people when you don't have a relationship from the people?
Law enforcement pushing for answers.
We need the community's support to give us information so that we can solve these 3 criminal homicides.
For safety.
It's not that they want to live in this community, but they want to be. It's like, am I safe talking to the police, or am I safe keeping my mouth shut as they knock on my door and ask me these questions in front of the whole complex?
An issue Floyd says can be solved through building trust.
I believe that it takes a couple minutes to get out of your car and speak to Sister So-and-so, a little Rodney.
The new neighborhood focus was announced by police in November. Esquire Alley falls into it.
This area is also located in one of our 5 sustained focused improvement areas.
Plans were developed in meetings Floyd says her neighborhood association should have been invited to.
How can you make decisions about my community where I live at, and you're just patrolling 8 hours a day?
An issue that will need to be solved before more crimes will be solved. In the Russell neighborhood, Clarice Shaley, WHAS 11 night team on your side.
Louisville Metro Police today also releasing the body camera video from that night in late November when 2 police officers were shot after a gun went off in the Smoketown neighborhood. They were struggling with a suspected car thief they'd pulled over in Smoketown.
My man, give us your hands.
I'm not doing nothing. I'm not doing nothing. I'm not doing nothing.
Officers Laxman Acharya and Brendan Kerner, along with the suspect, 20-year-old Jeremiah Thompson, were injured in the shooting. Body cam video shows the initial contact police had with Thompson, who was missing a shoe. Police say they found that missing shoe in the car that was reported stolen. Thompson's charge was stealing a vehicle, resisting arrest, and endangering both police officers. However, his lawyer, in a fiery courtroom exchange this week that got him removed, said it was never Thompson's intention to hurt officers.
What evidence do you have that he pulled the trigger? Maybe he was negligent, maybe he was foolish, maybe he should be a better communicator, but that's not part of the statute.
John Olash, you see right there, the attorney was then taken out of the courtroom in handcuffs. However, no charges were ultimately filed against him. Thompson returns to court in January next year, where the grand jury will decide if his case then moves to a full trial. How the gun went off, by the way, is still part of the investigation. Right now, all new on the night team, concerns over a citywide mask ban continue to grow. The decades-old ban is being reinforced after a noticeable jump in violent crimes committed by people wearing full masks to conceal their identity. City leaders now want revisions to the ban. WHAS11 Night Team's Alexandra Goldberg explains why that got delayed tonight.
In the Metro Council chambers, protesters raised signs in opposition to the city's mask ban ordinance. First passed in 1983. They were waiting for the council to talk about it.
0-26424 will be held at the request of the sponsor until further notice.
But it's on hold instead. Public Safety Committee Chair Tammy Hawkins says they're waiting to debate the ordinance. It would ban criminals from wearing masks to conceal their identity. She says they're hoping they won't make a premature decision.
Because it affects not just the Black culture, okay? It affects religion. It affects your health.
Though the Public Safety Committee decided to hold off on the debate inside the council chambers, community members are still considering what some of the consequences of this ordinance could be on Louisville.
It's a step in the right direction, but it's not the solution.
Will Pitts is a community activist. His cousin was shot and killed at Pleasure Ridge Park High School in September. It's the tragedy that prompted Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg to revisit the decades-old mask ordinance in the first place. Police said the two suspects were wearing full face masks and they haven't been caught.
You have to utilize all resources available, and if that's a tool that will help solve crimes and put criminals away, then we have to use that.
He says despite his close family ties with the 17-year-old victim, masks aren't the issue.
Yes, demasking people can maybe put a face to the crime or to the criminal, but it's not the end result. It's not take the mask off and now all of a sudden nobody's dying.
Fearing, however, how the ordinance will be enforced.
I truly believe, yes, certain individuals will be discriminated against, or that would be a tool to target young Black males.
Hawkins says meetings are in place to discuss the ordinance, but there's no strict timeline to vote. In Louisville, Alexandra Goldberg, WHAS11 Night Team, on your side.
Some of the proposed exemptions include allowing people to wear masks for protection of health, for religious reasons, and holidays or celebrations. Also proposed is that police officers could not stop or detain somebody solely for wearing a mask in an outdoor space. Today, the U.S. Supreme Court hearing arguments on whether a ban on medical treatments for transgender children violates the U.S. Constitution. This case centers around a ban passed in the state of Tennessee. Last year, lawmakers there banned those gender-affirming treatments, in part citing uncertain harm in the long term. A similar ban was also passed here in Kentucky in 2023. That ban directly impacting months of care for Annika Gibson, a graduate of Louisville's Manual High School.
Those 2-3 months without hormones were probably the hardest that I have experienced in a long time. Probably because I knew what I was missing.
Gibson is now 18 years old and is following the case closely. She's worried that should the justices uphold the ban, it could open the door for further limits on care. However, supporters of the ban argue they are only protecting children.
This case is all about protecting the innocence and the bodily integrity of children, preventing them from making a life-altering, irreversible decision when they're young.
Late today, the New York Times reported that after the hearing today in the U.S. Supreme Court, the justices appeared to be leaning toward upholding Tennessee's law. But their final ruling is expected to come out in June.
In the last week, we've got approximately 6,000 wreaths sponsored, which is just mind-blowing to me. It's just astounding, showing the dedication of our community to remembering and honoring our veterans.
And with that new interview tonight, it means a first for the Christmas season, and you made it happen here in Louisville. Every one of the thousands of veterans' graves at the Zachary Taylor National Cemetery is now going to be getting a wreath for the holiday season. No one will be left without one. In fact, next Saturday, the 14th, more than 11,000 wreaths will be placed on the headstones at Zachary Taylor on Brownsboro Road. They've got the wreaths, but with so many of them, they now need you, volunteers, to help place them. WHAS 11 Team's Alex Dieterer got the story on how one organization finally reached their goal.
A place of eternal rest for more than 11,000 veterans.
We've been growing the program, trying to get more and more wreaths so we can have a wreath for every grave in Zachary Taylor National Cemetery.
For the first time ever at Zachary Taylor National Cemetery, every single veteran's grave will be decorated with a wreath for the holidays.
To see a wreath on every grave out there is just something that's really heartwarming and inspiring.
Wreaths across America made sure of it.
And it's going to be a beautiful scene.
Doug Carroll is the owner of Brownsboro Hardware and Paint.
4 years ago, they came to us.
For 4 years, Carroll has helped Wreaths across America get closer and closer to their goal of 11,000 wreaths. This year, Brownsboro Hardware's customers sponsored nearly 2,500 of them, making that dream a reality.
We have many customers who are veterans, and they come in and they've obviously donated many wreaths to it, and they just thank us for being a part of it, and we just want to support them because they support us.
A community supporting the thousands of veterans who laid down their lives for others, shown through wreaths.
About a week ago, suddenly the local community just sort of came alive and started sponsoring wreaths. And in the last week, we've got approximately 6,000 wreaths sponsored, which is just mind-blowing to me. It's just astounding.
11,000 wreaths, ensuring the veterans are never forgotten.
We remember those veterans from long ago.
In Louisville,
even though they're not family members, they're not friends.
Alex Dieterer.
We still want to remember them and honor them for their service.
The WHAS 11 Night Team on your side.
So as you can imagine, it's a big project. And once again, the wreaths will be laid on those headstones next week, Saturday, December 14th, starting at noon. Volunteers are badly needed. And they told us the more they have, the better that it is for them. They don't have an exact number for them. If you're interested, head to loukywreaths.org. There's the website you need to go to register.